Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the 2024 Student Robotics Virtual Competition. I'm Alistair, and I'm your judge for today and the whole season, in fact. Today is the start of our league. Challenge season is over. Teams have been competing in their challenges, have done so very well, but that is past us now. Now is the start of the competition proper. The first match today will be coming up in 10 minutes or so. Teams have been working hard on their virtual robots for the virtual competition. They've tried them out a couple of weeks ago. Let us see how they perform today in practice. Helping me commentate today is my co-commentator, one Mr. Jake Howard. Jake, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, and I'm really looking forward to this virtual competition. We saw some incredible performances from the friendlies just a few weeks ago, and I think if we even get those to continue, this will be impressive. Let alone the additional 10 teams that we have and the 2 weeks of development that those other 10 teams have been able to do. This should be an incredible virtual competition season. Now, let's have a quick talk about the game that we will be playing this year. The game for the Student Robotics 2024 is called Final Frontier. To give a little backstory, you're working on behalf of one of 4 powerful civilizations, each itching to conquer the cosmos. The stars are within your grasp, and the asteroid field. That's your gold mine, teeming with precious resources. But it's never that simple. Nestled deep within those asteroids is the egg, ticking time bomb of cosmic proportions. Disturb it, and you might just unleash chaos like you've never seen. Your mission? Haul those asteroids back to your home planet, or even better, direct the intergalactic spaceship under construction. But be cautious. One wrong move and your civilization could pay the price, or perhaps another civilization could take the fall. Now, enough backstory, let's have a look at the arena. So, the arena for game, Final Frontier, looks like the diagram that we have here up here on the left. It's played between 4 robots that all start halfway across each edge of the square arena. And the aim of the game, like we've said, is to collect asteroids, which are these brown squares dotted around the arena. Collect those and bring them back to your home planet, which is the area of the arena that's the same color as your robot. Or even better, onto your spaceship, which is the grey squares that we can see that start on the home planets. Now, for every asteroid that you get back to your home planet, that's worth 12 points. For every asteroid that you get into your spaceship, that's 40 points. Which means if you do spend that extra time and complexity putting the asteroid into the spaceship, it is well worth your while if you can do it accurately and reliably. Now, I say your spaceship, but that's a little bit misleading. The points in this game are scored specifically at the end of the match, not partway through it. At the end of the match, your spaceship is the one that's on your planet. If you've stolen someone else's spaceship that contains a bunch of asteroids, they're your asteroids now, which means it's an incredibly valuable thing to keep hold of and potentially be able to steal, because potentially if you've got 3 asteroids in there, that's 120 game points that you're stealing in one foul swoop. But there is the twist side of it. Someone else can very much steal your asteroid. Your spaceship. They can also steal your asteroids. But if they steal your spaceship, they get all the asteroid points along with it that you spent your time to go and collect. It's an incredibly powerful thing and an incredibly important thing to keep hold of throughout the entire map. Now, alongside asteroids and spaceship, there is also the egg, which we can see in the middle of the arena in bright red sitting on a blue plinth. Now, this starts there, it's the same size, shape, and weight as all the other asteroids, but where it finishes can massively impact the final state of the game. So, if the egg finishes on your planet, it means your points are down to 1/4 what they would be. So an asteroid that's worth 12 points is now only worth 3. If an asteroid's on your spaceship, it was 40 points, it's now worth 10. You can do the maths and extrapolate from there. However, where things get really powerful, if the egg finishes inside a spaceship on your planet, the asteroid points are worth 0, regardless of how many asteroids you have, regardless of spaceships, whether they're in or not, 0. Now, that could be incredibly powerful if a team tries to deploy that in a sort of weaponized fashion to be able to potentially destroy the points gained by another team. Now, we talked about the arena, the asteroids, the egg, and the spaceship. Let's take a look at the robot. Now, the robot for this year is the same for all teams. It all looks the same. The only difference is the color. Now, let's take a quick look at the features of this robot, so to say. Now, first off, it has a camera. Now, this camera can be used to see various things inside the arena using what in the physical competition would be the fiducial QR code style, but aren't QR code markers. These are dotted around the edge of the arena and on the asteroid, the egg, and the spaceships. On top of that, this robot has a grabber. This can be used to pick up the tokens and lift them, and of course, it does have the ability to move up and down, so if it needs to, it can be used to put these asteroids or the egg into a spaceship. On top of that, we have the ultrasound sensors. These are dotted around the robot and can be used for measuring varying levels of distance between those sensors and the thing. These sensors can't tell you what that thing is. It won't tell you if it's an asteroid, a spaceship, a wall, or another robot. It just says a thing. But they can be incredibly precise on those distances. And of course, finally, on the back of the robot, there is a bump sensor. And this bump sensor is used for detecting collisions, so it can be very easy to work out if the robot has driven arse first into the back of something. That switch will trigger, and a team can adjust their strategy accordingly.
We're going to be running 21 matches today in this virtual part of the league, and you can find the full schedule on our website, studentrobotics.org/comp. You will also find the scores and the league points resulting from all the matches up there. They will not be available instantaneously, but will be available shortly after every match.
Now, if you have any questions throughout the day, then there are various places you can post them. Of course, there is the live chat, which we can see, which both Alistair and myself can see, and we'll be able to relay those and discuss them. And of course, there are plenty of blue shirts in the chat as well, and your fellow competitors as well. On top of that, there is, of course, Discord that we know teams have been using to a massive advantage throughout the entire competition season, being able to talk to both the competitors in their team, but also to other blue shirts and, in fact, other teams as well throughout. So it's been a very good place for teams to ask questions, get advice, and just generally socialize with the other people. And of course, there is the doc. You'll be able to find everything you need in there with varying levels of details, including the rules, how the robot works, how your code works, and everything else you might need to debug. Now, speaking of things you need to hear this message about our sponsors. I've always wanted to say, Student Robotics is first and foremost a charity, and we would not be able to do what we do without the fantastic support of our sponsors. IT Dev, the Electronic Skills Foundation, and Southampton and the University of Southampton have been massive supporters for Student Robotics. And we would like to say a massive thank you to them, as well as all of our other sponsors.
So let's have a quick look at the league table before we get started today. You will notice that there are already some league points up here in the table. This is the results of the challenges. There were 5 points available for successfully completing each challenge, which has already given some teams an advantage on the table, but these scores are liable to change very substantially today. You will find the league table, as well as all the detailed scores from these matches, available on our website, again, studentrobotics.org/comp, and there will be 4 appearances per team today. There are 8 league points available in each match for the team that comes first, 6 league points for the team that comes second, 4 for the team that comes third, and 2 for the team that comes fourth.
Yes, now we wish every single team the very best of luck. And we say if you have any questions throughout the event, like I say, please post them in the chat or in Discord. And other people wearing blue-colored t-shirts should be able to help you out. Now, got just over a minute until the first match. Let's have a look at who's coming up.
Well, we have Bart and Peveril coming up in the first match. They will be in green. We have also our friends from Colliers, who I'm sure you have no bias towards, Mr. Jake. They will be appearing in orange. Eltham, making their first appearance, as all teams are. Today, they will be appearing in the magenta, which I will insist is magenta and not pink. And finally, Haberdashers, who have performed very impressively at previous virtual events, so they are the ones to watch this match. They will be appearing in yellow in this first match coming up in about a minute.
Yes, now Haberdashers they won the competition last year. They did incredibly well, and they've got some very complex behaviors that we saw in the friendlies that we ran a couple of weeks ago. So their performance is going to be very interesting. And we did see some interesting things out of Colliers as well. They were very quickly able to rattle through, collect asteroid, bring back to planet, rinse and repeat. And sometimes if you can do that reliably and quickly, that is the way to go.
Now, let's get cracking, because our first match is coming up in just a moment, in about 10 seconds, in fact. And that, to remind you, is between Barton Peveril, Colliers, Eltham, and Haberdashers. Let us get started with the first match of the 2024 competition cycle. And here we go. And off they go, immediately off, all four teams jumping straight into action. Bit of a mysterious performance from Eltham College there. They're going for a spaceship, not sure entirely what they want to do with that. Some movement down from Haberdashers there. They get 2 asteroids immediately into their spaceship and then do something with their spaceship. Are they putting it into their corner to make it safe? Who knows what they're doing? 3 asteroids in the spaceship of Haberdashers, however. Haberdashers? I'm not even sure. We have Barton Peveril up in the top. They are going and giving points away. No, they decide not to give points away. That is usually a bad strategy. Knocking their spaceship around. Not quite sure what they're doing. They do manage to grab more. We do have a lot of chaos going down in this bottom left corner that you can see. We have 3 asteroids in that spaceship. Not quite sure where it's going. We have a bit of a tussle going on here. Eltham and Colliers have grabbed each other just slightly. Bit of movement from Colliers' spaceship as well. It's being knocked about by the Barton Peveril robot. Let's see what Barton Peveril are doing. Now, are we going to get 5 in that spaceship down in the bottom left corner? It looks like we are. Haberdashers going and loading up there. Very high scoring points. The danger with the spaceship is, of course, where the spaceship is positioned at the end of the match, which can make all the difference. The planet it's on is determined by the location of the flag, or specifically the flagpole. Let's see how that goes. We are seeing a bit of a spaceship collision as we speak down there. The Eltham College spaceship pushed out, and Haberdashers get more points in there. That is an awful lot of points for Haberdashers, it looks like, assuming that spaceship remains in their home planet. Now, the tussle seems to have permanently disabled Eltham and Colliers. Not quite sure if they are going to be able to get out of it. There are still 45 seconds to go. Going to be a bit of a push. The egg is in play. It is off its central starting location, but it is not out of the asteroid field. It will not have an effect unless it ends in one of the home planets or the spaceships. We see some more asteroids being moved down there. They're given to Eltham. We'll see if they make the difference, but probably not, given the volume, the sheer volume of asteroids in those spaceships in the bottom left. But I am not entirely certain from my vantage point up here where the flag of that spaceship in the bottom left is, and that, I'm afraid, is going to make the difference. This is already a very high scoring round. I am most impressed, but all of what is going down in the bottom left here is going to make all the difference as we finish this first match of the virtual competition.
Oh, wow. That is quite a strong start to the matches that we have there. Incredible.
Yeah.
Whatever was going on in that bottom left-hand corner was just constantly changing. So many asteroids continually being piled on. Massive benefit for Haberdashers.
Yeah, for sure.
Not so much for Eltham.
Now let's have a look. Now you can see here that the location of those spaceships is determined by where those flags end, or specifically the flag poles, and they are both in the yellow zone there, as you can see, which is a very high scoring result for Haberdashers, who take away 281 points in that first match.
Oh, that's the one thing about giving asteroids inside spaceships quite such a high number, is you will end up with matches where teams win, 281 league points. That's just phenomenal.
And what do we have here? Got a bit of an incident here going on. That is a spaceship steal. Now, the spaceships are worth a lot of points, and if you take them, you'll end up with a lot of points at the end of the match. It's not easy. It's not easy to do this well, but that is how you end up coming away with 281 points of at the
Yeah,
first
I'd love to
match.
say that that was a intentional move by Haberdashers there to move a spaceship with the asteroids all at the same time, but I suspect it was potluck.
It is haberdashers. They do well at these things.
They do very well. Now, speaking of Haberdashers, they're actually up in the next match in the pink, sorry. Alongside them, we have Hampton School and Lady Eleanor Hollis School in the green. We have Hayden School in the orange. We have the Henry Box School in the pink. And we have Hills Road in the yellow. Now, let's get very quickly on with things. We have the Henry Box School nicely there grabbing their first asteroid. Can they get it onto their planet? They've stolen around? Yes, there it is, onto their planet. Fantastic. Now, Hayden School in the orange, they've got 2 asteroids there. They've been able to line up. Oh, in fact, they may have 3. Incredibly quick movement from them. Grabbing asteroids, they put 2 onto the home planet. Can they get the 2 into their spaceship? Yes, they can. That is 80 points from the spaceship and a further 12 from their home planet. HRS Hills Road, a veteran team from Student Robotics. They've got nicely 1 asteroid into their spaceship. Lining up, can they make it a second? Let's see how they move. In the meantime, Hayden School, again, that's 2 asteroids they've got inside their grabber. Lining up towards the spaceship. Can they get it in? Yes, just about. There we go. Fantastic. And in the meantime, Hills Road have been able to get that second asteroid. I believe from there, our vantage point here right at the top, I believe that is inside their spaceship. And they make it a third. Wait and find out. Yes, they can. There we go. 3 nice and clearly inside the spaceship. 120 game points for them. Now, Hampton School have been running a little bit slower. They've got 1 asteroid onto their home planet, which is great. Can they get the asteroid that is in their arms at the moment onto their spaceship? No, not quite. But that is still 2 asteroids onto them. Now, interestingly, Hayden School have picked up the egg and deposited it onto Hampton School's home planet. That's unfortunate for Hampton School there. That means their asteroids are only worth a quarter. 12 points down to 3. That drops 24 points down to just 6. Now, the egg could move towards the end of the match. Hampton School might notice this and give it back to Hayden School, which would be even more damaging. But they have now there, that's 3 asteroids. Oh, no, it's not.
Oh, no.
It looks like from here, they've just pushed that one slightly out of their home planet. Oh, that's unfortunate. But they're lining... Oh, no. They looked like they were lining up towards the egg, but unfortunately, no. They just missed it. Oh, now what are Hayden School doing?
What?
They've discovered the error of their ways and decided to put the egg back by doing a bit of cleanup for us.
What?
I think they might be. There we go. They temporarily gave the points there towards Hampton School and then took the egg back. That's not a strategy. I don't know what's happened there.
What did I just watch?
I don't know.
What? So just to reiterate, they go and take the egg, put it in someone else's home planet to deprive them of lots of points. They pick the person who is the least threatening to them to do so, and then with a few seconds before the end of the match, they go, actually no, we're feeling merciful today, and go and just gently put it back exactly where it came from. I've seen some wild strategies in my time. I do not know what to make of that.
I don't know either. Putting the egg onto a team's home planet is a great strategy. Choosing the one closest to you, again, makes it very easy. Choosing the one that's got the fewest asteroids, maybe not the best strategy, but still penalizing the team, it could still make all the difference as the games progress. Having a stroke of pity, that's a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, that's I don't really know what to make of that. Let's have a quick look. I think we've got a screenshot of... Yeah, so we end up with a bit of an unfortunate situation if you are of a green persuasion here, because that is not a whole lot of asteroids. In fact, it's only 2 there. Whereas Hayden, they're feeling pretty good, I imagine. They're feeling pretty good with that. I guess if with a score like that, which is, I don't even want to know, how much did they come away from that with?
That's
185 points at the end of that match. I guess at that point, who's for me to say that they're doing something strange with the egg? I guess it was working for them. Now let's have a look at what's going to happen in this next match. Here we've got Headington, Haberdashers, Harris Westminster, and Kensington Aldridge Academy, KAA, and they are all immediately off to a very quick start. We have Headington immediately going for an egg take. Not quite sure what they're going to do with that. They're going to have to dislodge themselves from Haberdashers first if they're going to do anything with it. And they do. They manage to dislodge themselves, but straight back on. It is a very, very messy tussle in the middle here. Harris Westminster going for a much more gradual play. They're going one asteroid at a time, bringing it back to the home planet. Looks like a similar strategy from KAA, Kensington Aldridge Academy. Let's see if they can pull it off. The slower movement there, but oh no, we have an egg drop from Headington into Harris Westminster's corner. Let's see where that goes. But right now, that is a very painful deduction of points for poor Harris Westminster down there. Let's see if Headington can capitalize on their gains, but they're not going to be able to do so stuck in that corner there. Moving their grabbers up and down. Let's see what they're going to do. It looks like actually we may have more success from the very gentle, slow, steady, but measured performance we're seeing so far from KAA. They have 5 asteroids in their home planet and now bringing back a 6th. It looks like they're going for a simple but very, very successful strategy here. In they go, they grab a 7th. Let's see if that works for them. Not quite sure what Headington are doing here. They're sort of turning on the spot. Not quite sure. They're maybe trying to line up for something. They grab a phantom asteroid that's not there. Unclear what their strategy is. Harris Westminster, looking like they're turning on the spot. They want to grab more points. I think they're going for a more measured approach like KAA are doing, but that's not going to work for them with an egg in their corner. Now, we do have a asteroid in a spaceship. You can see it up in the top right there. It is currently scoring quite a few points for Haberdashers, HAB. We will see. I don't think that is going to be enough, if I remember rightly, to offset the points we're seeing in KAA over on the left there. Now, Headington, they are lined up. They're grabbing another one. It's going to be quite tricky for them to pull it back. They have not got long to do this. They've only got about 15 seconds left, and they're not going to be able to do much in those 15 seconds unless they go for a very dramatic move right now. They do get another asteroid that's going to get them some points. It might push them. What? How did I just see there? Harris Westminster go and completely smash up the results of this match so far. They go and give a bunch of points to Headington, and that actually brings it to a tie, I think.
What on earth happened there? They were so far in the lead. And then they weren't.
Yeah. Curious. No, I mean, the results do... I mean, Haberdashers do take the win there with the points in the spaceship, but that really messes up the second place positioning with that last-minute tie there. I did not see that coming.
No, I mean, the fact that it just happened in the last less than 10 seconds to suddenly go from Kensington Aldridge Academy quite high up, a solid second place over Headington School and Harris Westminster, to then suddenly be dropped down again, almost halving their own points accidentally.
Yeah,
and I think this shows exactly that it does all come down to what the scores are at the clock hitting 0. Doesn't matter what happens throughout the rest of the match. When it hits 0, what happens? And you've got to be careful not to move your own asteroids around.
Yeah, things can get very dicey very quickly. It's very possible to lose a lot of points in not a lot of time in this game unless you are really rather careful. Now, coming up in the next match, it is going to be Kegs. They're making their first appearance. We've also got MAI in this upcoming match. QMC, Queen's Mary's College, they're going to be coming up, and we have Eltham coming up in this next match. Who are the ones to watch here, Jake?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, MAI they're again a veteran team from Student Robotics. They always have some very interesting strategies that are not quite what you think, but generally very successful. So this match, they're the ones to watch. I mean, obviously, commentary and judging team are not biased at all. But Team MAI are always a very interesting team to watch at the very least. Now, let's get started. Quick moving off the line there from MAI and Queen Mary's College there in the left and bottom, sorry, not left, right and bottom areas of the arena. We've got a spaceship point already from MAI. Like I said, a very good one to watch. That's one. Can they make it a second? Very quick lining up there. moving the arm straight up into the spaceship, drop it down. 80 game points for them already in less than 30 seconds. Now, UMC, it doesn't look like they're going for the spaceship, but they have very quickly rattled through 3 asteroid points onto their home planet. That's 12, 24, 36 game points for them. Can they make it 48? Yes, they can. Very quickly, very easy. Still less than halfway through the match now. Now, let's take a look. Keeping up with the 6th Grammar School, they've got 2 asteroids into their spaceship, a further 2 onto their home planet. Now let's see, can they make it 1 more into their spaceship? They're lining up towards it a little bit more, and there it is. 120 game points for them with a little celebratory dance afterwards. Now, UMC slightly getting nudged onto the raised plinth there that will not move no matter how hard you try. But they have knocked the egg off, which means it's at a very high risk of being accidentally caught up by someone else just driving past it, as they're almost demonstrating themselves now. Now, there's a bit of a tussle going on now in that bottom right-hand corner between QMC and MAI's home planet. That spaceship, it might be empty, but it's very close to the edge, and it wouldn't take much of a nudge from Eltham to give MAI a huge boost in points. Eltham instead settling for stealing an asteroid, tipping QMC over as they try and make their way over. Now, keeping up with Grammar School, it does look like they now have the egg onto their home planet. That's going to massively drop the number of points they have. I'm not going to try and do the maths in my head, but down to 1/4 of the total points is going to be a huge drop for them, which otherwise would have seen them solidly winning this with those 2 asteroids inside their spaceship versus the what looks like 6 asteroids on the home planet of QMC. Now, for the final 10 seconds of this match left, let's see. Can King of his School get that final asteroid into their spaceship? No, unfortunately not quite. But it's at least down onto their home surface planet, which gives them 12 points for that asteroid. Now again, another very high scoring match. We're seeing the asteroid field almost being completely emptied every single match.
Yeah, which is absolutely not what I was expecting out of this virtual competition. Very, very impressive performances so far from all of these teams. What we do see from the end of that match is that MAI come away with the win there with that 81 points. Close behind them, though, with QMC with 73. Eltham, unfortunately, down there at 1 and 40 for Kegs in 3rd. Now, the differences don't make as much of a difference. There's much less, doesn't really matter if you win by a huge margin or a narrow margin. A win is still a win. And to remind you, it is 8 league points available if you win in a match, so if you come away with the most points. It's 6 league points if you come 2nd, 4 if you come 3rd, and 2 if you come 4th. Now, let's have a quick look coming up at match number 4. Here we have RGS Guildford. They will be appearing in the green. We have HAM. They will be appearing in the orange. They did that slow and steady performance last time. We saw them undo their egging, which did them very well. We have RTS, who I'm sure we're going to talk about quite a bit in this match coming up. They will be in the color of undisclosed nature. And in the yellow, we have Sherborne, who will be appearing now. See, RTS, Ruthin, I don't know if you remember what we saw from them in the friendlies, Mr. Jake.
I do remember, yeah. And if they've kept up that strategy, which anyone from Ruthin's school, we know what your strategy is. If you keep that up in this match, oh, this is going to be a doozy of a match.
This should be quite entertaining. And let's see how it goes. They're all immediately off. Slow, somewhat gentle movement from Ruthin's here. Let's see if they do the thing. They do a bit of a spin. And yes, they go immediately for the egg. They are going for this egg first strategy. Let's see who they doom by dropping it in their starting in their home planet. And looks like they're unfortunate victims this time. Oh no! There we go. It is in the spaceship in the home planet of RGS, which means they are getting no points at all. Oh, but I'm not quite sure, Mr. Jake, where that spaceship is right now.
Oh no, I can't tell from here. It's so close to that line. I think we're going to need our crack judging team to work that one out.
That's going to be very much... Oh, no. Over it goes. Over it goes. The deadly spaceship is now in the domain of Sherborne. Oof, that is going to be somewhat exciting to figure out. Let's see if anything goes on with that at the end of this match. Now, the robots that were all clustered up in the top left of your screens have now split apart. There is more points to be had in this match. Ruth and School, they are grabbing an asteroid, getting it into their spaceship. That's going to do them very, very well. They are the first ones we've seen which are actually worth any points in this spaceship, given the effect of the egg up in the top left. Now, RGS Guildford, they do grab 2 asteroids, bring them up to their home planet. It's not worth a lot of points, but it doesn't have to be. We do see more asteroids brought back to the home planets there from our teams on the right from Hampton. Not quite sure what Ruthen is doing there. They're just going to give some points to Hampton. Ruthen giveth and Ruthen taketh away, it seems, this match. They are doing quite well. Oh, I say this and I speak too soon because I am not sure which home planet that spaceship down on the bottom right is in now.
Oof. No, I can't tell either.
Messy bit of a tussle going on up in the top here. We have RGS. They are squeezing into Hampton. They are a bit entangled right now. Let's see if they can split apart because this is still all to play for at this point, particularly if we see any more movement of that spaceship up in the top left. More points being gathered here from Sherborne, but it is all going to be for naught unless that spaceship in the top left moves. We're still not seeing any uncoupling between RGS and Hampton. They are still stuck on each other, unable to separate. Ruth and School hanging around in the middle, not quite sure what they are up to, and that is a very messy end to this match with an egg in the spaceship which completely nullifies those points except for the single bonus point for leaving their home planet, leaving 1 point for poor Sherborne there. We
did warn the viewers that Ruthen's tactic is, I mean, for lack of a better, it's brutal. Oh my goodness. That is, I'm lost for words, really. It's such a malicious, almost very bold strategy. Goes straight for penalizing the team clearly directly opposite of you. And in this case, it actually somewhat backfired a little bit, at least for Sherborne. They went from having a decent number of points all the way down to 1.
And I don't think Ruthen care. They just love to see the carnage, and I love them for it. On the home planet, for that to count. So good for them. That was the second clincher that we saw down in the bottom right.
Yeah, that was an incredibly painful one for my own blood pressure to watch.
Yeah, love it though.
Very much so. Now, let's move on. We have match number 5 coming up, the confusingly 6th match of the day. We have in the green, we have St. Olaf's Grammar School. We have in the orange, we have Harris Westminster, again, because I can remember teams' TLAs. Now, last time they got a lot of time spinning at their home planet looking for asteroids. Let's see if that can pay off. And they have Hayden School and the Ladies College Guernsey. Now, quick movement off the line there from Harris Westminster, as we've seen in the past. Hayden School there nicely going 2 asteroids straight away, and an interesting tactic from them. They're grabbing 2 asteroids with the grabber and then shunting a 3rd. That means in one movement, that's 3 asteroids, 1 onto their home planet, and by the looks of it, 2 into their asteroid, into their home planet, into their spaceship even. God, there's a lot of things in this game. Now, we have, unfortunately, sitting in the Ladies' College Guernsey School, a little red ticking time bomb that is the egg. Now, currently, they haven't actually got any points to speak of at the moment, so quartering 0 is still 0. But still, any points that they collect throughout this, unless they can do something about that egg, is going to only get them 1/4 of their total value.
Now, the egg is in their field of view. They do know it's there. The question is, can they do anything with that information? Can they get the egg out of their home planet?
Yeah, if they know where their robot is in the arena and they can see the asteroid, they can work out where the asteroid is, detect that, this is on my home planet. I need to yeet it the hell off of my planet. And hopefully onto someone else's. Very technical term. You yeet. Google it. Now, Hayden School there, nicely. That is a lot of asteroids on their scoring zone. But what on earth is going on there with Alistair making funny noises, presumably at that spaceship there, hovering over the line there? That is the Ladies' College Guernsey's spaceship floating over St. Urs Grammar School's home planet.
That's the noise that Alistair makes when a spaceship gets gently tapped into a home planet.
Oh, yes, that's 40 game points for St. Urs Grammar School there, given for free from the Ladies College Guernsey, who, they still have the egg, but they have been able to collect 3 asteroids. Now, the important thing to remember about all of these is it's not necessarily about collecting tons and tons and tons of points, so long as it's more than everyone else. Sometimes just 369 points could be enough to make the competition, particularly as time goes on. Now, deep inside from Alistair means that a spaceship has moved between 2 home planets, as we can see here. Now, I can't quite tell from here. I believe the flag is sitting in the top left-hand corner of
it is as well.
Spaceship, which means it's still firmly in Cerna's planet. But that got a little bit too close to full comfort for me. Now, let's have a look at a quick end-of-match screenshot now. There we go. Yes, the flag was in fact sitting at that top left-hand corner, which means those points do stay with St. Ives Grammar School. And the empty spaceship even there, nicely creating a bit of a wedge there, meaning that no matter how much more shunting on that spaceship happened, the points were very unlikely to end up in Sherborne's corner, who unfortunately were still poisoned by that egg at the end of the match.
Not ultimately enough to take the match, of course, away from our teams in the magenta Haydens, who come away with that with 129 points and take first place in that match number 5. Shall we have a quick look at the league table?
I think let's.
So, where we are now, we have Haberdashers currently in the lead, up at position number 1 with 26 league points, putting them firmly ahead. Bit of a tie. We have Hampton and MAI beyond them. Hayden School further down, Hills Road in 5th right now. In 6th position, we have Barton Pev. 7th, RGS Guildford. In 8th, we have Harris Westminster. And 9th is the Ladies College Guernsey after that match. And 10th, with their egg first strategy, it is Ruthin School. These are all subject to change. They're going to change very wildly, but it's looking a pretty strong position for Haberdashers right now.
Very strong indeed. And it is worth noting that these teams haven't all played the same number of points, the same number of games even, so these could massively shift as even today goes on.
Now, let's have a look at the upcoming match number 6, which will be between Eltham, between WGS, who are Wisbech Grammar School, between WMC from Westminster, and between RGS Guildford. RGS last time pushed their own spaceship out, but it had the egg in it, so that was really the move that saved them, put them into 3rd instead of 4th. Let's see if they can replicate that thoughtful strategy right now with everyone moving off very quickly. RGS are doing quite well. It looks like they're lining up to get 2 asteroids immediately into their spaceship, and they do. 1 asteroid into the spaceship is strong performance from Westminster City School, but they're going to have to keep it up very, very strongly if they want to match RGS's performance. RGS doing very, very well so far. Wisbech going for a much more gentle strategy, much more predictable, but much more reliable, of getting lots and lots of asteroids into their home planet. We will have to see whether that's enough, though. Westminster City School going for the steal. We've almost cleared the asteroid field immediately, which is wild, because I barely thought we'd see that at all, let alone within the first 30 seconds or so. Looks like we are lining up from the egg. I don't know what Eltham is thinking, but I don't like it, by which I mean I do like it. Let's see what they do. Let us have a quick look at the state of those spaceships, though, as we are here. We have RGS with their spaceship in the bottom left. You have 4, it looks like, asteroids in there. That is worth an awful lot of points. Only 2 asteroids in the spaceship down there from Westminster City School. That's going to give them a solid 2nd place, though, I think. We have a lot of asteroids collected on the home planet on the right there from Wisbech, but it may not be enough. Although, we will have to see what happens here. That spaceship is very, very dicily positioned from our friends at RGS. It is very much on the edge of going into Westminster's city schools there, and if Westminster catch on, they could make a very large difference here. Now, we do have Wisbech really pushing things around. That's going to change things quite substantially if they... Oh, I am not sure where that is, but I have a funny feeling that's just given an awful lot of points to Eltham College.
I think you're right.
Wisbech feeling like they are agents of chaos today. They woke up and they chose violence, and I am not sure where that flagpole is positioned, but it's going to make a whole lot of difference to the outcome of this match unless something changes in the next 30 seconds. It does look like we have another spaceship over the line as well, down in the bottom right of your screen there. If you see it, it looks like Westminster City School. It looks like, from my position, it looks like that spaceship has gone over to the home planet of Wisbeach, which is actually going to give Wisbeach a very, very strong position in this match. We'll have to see if anything changes, which it very well may, in the next 8 seconds, because this... Oh, no! Oh, look at that. A little bit of violence up from the top right there. Wisbeach really not in a good mood today. They just ram Eltom's robot, knock it over onto its back there. It is horrible to see.
Yeah, we said Ruthin with the Agents of Chaos, but it seemed Wisbeach really giving them a run for their money in this match.
Well, I mean, we have a bit of an interesting result from that match, Mr. Jake. Wisbeach take it away with the positioning of that spaceship in the bottom right with 189 points at the end there. But it's an exact tie for second place in that match between Eltom and RGS, who each come away with 161. Now, in the event of a tie, the league points are split. So rather than one getting 6 and one getting 4, they both get 5. I was not entirely expecting ties, but there you go. They can happen.
Yeah, with such a varying number of points being high, being low, being penalised by the egg, ties should have not happened very often, and yet here we are, 161 game points for Eltom and RGS Guildford.
Let's have a quick look at a live action replay there, if we can.
Yes.
So, yeah, that is a very high scoring home planet we're seeing there in the background there. Behind
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 asteroids in view alone, plus potentially a few more a little bit cropped up at the top.
A last-minute grab attempt there from Westminster, but it was not enough because they're only worth something if they're in your home planet. And that
Kensington Aldridge Academy in the pink, and in the yellow we have Barton Peveril. Now, very quick movement off the line there from all of the teams. Can't quite tell. Oh, lots of tussling there going on between Barton Peveril and MAI. Can't say for sure what's going on. Lots of asteroid movement, lots of just what looks like just plain fighting between those two robots. This is meant to be a non-contact sport. Apparently, Barton Peveril and MAI didn't quite get the message. So, let's keep looking. We have Kensington Aldridge Academy, KAA at the bottom, just nicely, quietly getting on with what they do. That's 3 asteroids onto their home planet. 12, 24, 36 game points for them. And they make it 48 with that final one. Now, St. Erlabs are in a very difficult situation potentially for them. They've got 1 asteroid by the looks of it inside their grabber, but they also have the egg. And if they move that in the wrong way towards their home planet, that could massively hinder what's going on.
It's all looking suspiciously static so far in this match. We've got one robot moving here. KA, sort of lonely figure left out in the galaxy, still there. Forlornly doing a death dance down in the corner there. Let's see if they can finally make a decision on that asteroid. But it looks like they're just going to sit there.
Just slowly rotating.
Slowly rotating.
This is definitely giving vibes of what happens in the physical competition. Lots of movement at the beginning, lots of things moving around, and then about halfway through, 3 teams' code dies, and the final one is left slowly spinning. This is nostalgic almost. It's
hard for me to read a robot's emotions. I can't tell what KA's robot is thinking, but I still somehow feel like it feels sad.
I can just imagine sort of if robots could sing, it would be singing Lonely by Akon at the point.
Bittersweet taste of victory, but at what cost?
Yeah.
It looks upon this battlefield of 3 of its dead opponents.
The other way to look at this is it could be a very slow victory dance. They have got the most asteroids on their home planet. That's 5 versus 3 for Barton Peveril and none for the other teams. So it could just be slowly spinning around, sort of looks like a peacock might, just sort of going, nah, 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 look at me.
Peacocks famous, of course, for their asteroid collecting tendencies.
It's a very not very well known fact about peacocks. They very much like asteroids.
Fun fact, actually, do you know that a peacock is technically a robot?
Huh.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. I mean, it
the
kind of makes
more-
sense when you think about it.
Yeah, the more you know.
Yeah, the little markers on its tail, they're actually a sort of fiducial marker. They're for localization, so you know where the peacock is. Yeah, its vision is based on QR codes.
It's a good job.
The more you know.
Ours is based on fiducial markers, not QR code. Very different things. Do not get them muddled up.
Well, I mean, other than the fact that last match made me rather sad, I think that was quite a good result for KAA, who come away with 61 points there.
Yeah, 61 down in second place, Barton Peveril with 37. So a nice lead from Kensington Aldridge Academy there, which should help them out. Now, these points do carry fully over into the physical competition when we start awarding prizes. This isn't just the virtual competition self-contained. These are real points, which will, once we get to the competition in April, potentially transition into real prizes.
It's a very good idea to put in the effort for the virtual competition. Not
Absolutely.
impossible to come back from doing badly? Absolutely not, but it is harder. Now, coming up next, we have Wisbeach. They'll be facing off against Kegs. They'll be facing off against Headington, and they will be facing off against HAM, Hampton School, who last time got caught before they were able to really rake in the points. Let's see what their performance is going to look this time as we count in 2, 1, and off they all go. Headington straight out, they're going for a grab, slightly slower movement from the others, but not that much. Wisbeach already have an asteroid in their home planet, and they get a second. Already fairly good scoring from Wisbeach. They're able to move quite quickly and just grab one at a time. Slightly different strategy we saw there from Kegs. In the right, they grabbed 2 asteroids at once in their first time around. Looks like they're lining up for that spaceship. Let's see if they do it. Up they go, and in they go. That is an awful lot of points for Kegs. Let's see if they can keep it. But it's going to be a bit of a dicey one, because I'm not quite sure what Headington is doing there. They're quite close to that spaceship. They could very easily go for a steal. No, they slightly back away. We're going for a very much home planet-themed scoring decision from Wisbeach there. They've got 4 asteroids on their home planet now. Looks like we're going to be another one into the spaceship from Kegs. That's going to give them a very, very strong position in this match. Really, for all the others, they are the ones now to beat. Although I say that, I see Kegs lining up on the egg, and I'm not quite sure what they're going to do with it. That could throw a very large wrench into the works. Wisbeach are going for the asteroid into the home planet strategy. They're doing it very well. They've lined up quite a few. They knock Kegs there. Oh, that goes over that line. Let's see if it stays there, but I'm pretty sure that's over the line right now. And that is a lot of points for Wisbeach if they can keep it. If they don't knock it back into Kegs' zone. Let's see if Kegs realize what's going on. It looks like they don't. They're lining up for their own asteroids, not quite sure what they're doing. Gently tucking another spaceship over the line there from Hampton down in the bottom, taking away Headington's spaceship and giving it to Kegs, but there's no asteroids in that. Won't make a whole lot of difference to the scores. A lot of chaos going on with that spaceship now there. That is out into the asteroid field, so it's not worth any points to anyone unless it gets knocked back in, and it does from Wisbeach. Back in, up at the top. What are they doing? They're really just trying to give me a heart attack here. I don't know that my doctor's going to be enjoying watching this very much. That is more points out there from Wisbeach. They are really taking this away. Unbelievably strong performance. That is going to be a very, 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 very high number of points relative to everyone else there, unless something very dramatic happens in the next few seconds. The egg is in play. It could happen, but I suspect it's not going to. Wisbeach just going away. They want asteroids, and they're going to take them. Oof.
I mean, the aim of this game is to collect asteroids, and Wisbeach have definitely done that in this match.
Yes, they have, and they come away with 205 points for their troubles for it. Only 37 for Headington in the bottom there at the end of that match, and 1 for the other 2.
Yeah, that's 1 point is only for leaving their scoring zone. They actually haven't got any asteroids, unfortunately. The ones in Wisbeach Grammar School's robot are not actually on Case Chelmsford's home planet. They're very much on the robot, so the points go to Wisbeach Grammar School on top of all the others that they have, because apparently having just a few isn't quite enough, and they need to have almost 6 times as many points as everyone else.
Now, I will remind you that it really is all about the ordering of the points not the absolute numbers. So, for example, we had two teams come away with 1 point each from that match. Now, had it been that one of them had not managed to move out of their home planet and the other one had, the fact that they only had the 1 point would still have given them a huge league advantage. And contrary-wise, if that is in fact a word, Wisbeach coming away with that huge point lead over Headington there, 205 to 37, still only gets them that same margin of 2 additional league points over what Headington took away from there. So it really isn't about how big your lead is, it's about how reliable your lead is.
Yeah, those game points do still matter. It's not just all about league points. The game points do come up if we need to split ties where the league points are the same. It's not just they're only useful inside the scope of one match. They are still very important. Now, let's move on to match number 9. We have Harris Westminster School in the green. We have Westminster City College in the orange. Our Barton Peveril in the pink, and I stand by it being pink. And then HBS, the Henry Block School, in the yellow. Now, Barton Peveril there, nicely 2 asteroids into the wrong spaceship. Oh no, they've done it again. They've stolen a spaceship with no asteroids in it and just gone, nope, this is mine now. Potentially confusing Henry Box's school where they see a spaceship. It's just a little bit further away than they might expect.
Oh,
I'm assuming this is intentional because that's a fantastic strategy from them, and that's 4 asteroids into it already in just 30 seconds. What? Now, Westminster City College, again, they've bought one of these Phantom Invisible tokens, asteroids. They have been able to capture 2 actual asteroids, deposited them into their spaceship, and just afterwards stealing one from Harris Westminster School. And they're at a slight risk of their spaceship. Oh no, just been able to save it. Their spaceship is nicely in their home planet still. Now, bottom right hand corner of our screens, that spaceship is concerningly close to Westminster City College's home planet. I can't actually tell from here where that spaceship lies, but oh, it's going to be close.
That's going to be what makes the big difference to the points at the end of this match, I suspect.
Yeah, where that spaceship lands is going to be 40 game points either side between Westminster City College and Barton Peveril, both of whom actually at the moment have 3 on their respective home planets. But Barton Peveril do have twice as many, I believe, asteroids inside, in this case, the Henry Box School's spaceship. Now, the egg has been dislodged from the plinth, but at the moment doesn't seem quite in play. Now, I don't know what's going on between Westminster City College and Barton Peveril. They seem to be fighting over that one asteroid. That's not a very good strategy. You're going to want to keep things moving nice and quickly. Now, Henry Box School, I don't know what they're doing. They're lifting up potentially towards things. They might have got themselves a little bit out of whack as to where things are. So let's see exactly what is going on there. Now, Henry Box School, they might be taking some revenge for Barton Peveril having stolen their spaceship, but nope, not quite. So, final 3 seconds left of this match. Is anything going to happen suddenly? No, not quite, but still an incredibly high-scoring match there from Barton Peveril. Now, I hear we've got a little end-of-match screenshot. Let's take a look.
Let's have a look.
Oh, a little bit of a tussle there coming from those rails, but the asteroid does very much look like it is, quote, in the orange robot as opposed to the pink. So that's going to be points for Westminster City College and not Barton Peveril.
Yep. So there are 8 points available if the asteroid is in your robot at the end. It doesn't have to be on your home planet to get all the points. It's still worth some.
Yes. Now, let's take a very quick look at the league table so far. We've played 10 matches so far today, and let's see where things are. We have at the top, again, Haberdashers. They've been overtaken very slightly. Barton Peveril do have fewer game points, but because they've been able to win more matches, as Alistair said, the league points are what actually rank this table. The Barton Peveril, they have fewer game points, but they do have more league points. Somewhat misleading, they may have played different numbers of matches, but at the moment, this is the state of the table. Now, third, we have Wisbeach Grammar School, followed actually at the same number of league points by Hampton School, but again, very different numbers of game points. So all still to play for as far as the top goes. And obviously, we do have some teams towards the bottom who either haven't been able to submit code in for the virtual competition, or as well potentially haven't scored any challenge points as well. Now, match number 10 is coming up, I believe, Mr. Lin.
I do believe you are correct, Mr. Howard. And in match number 10, we're going to be seeing QMC. They got a lot of asteroids last time, never put any in a spaceship. That looks like a quite dangerous approach right now, given how much the spaceships have been in use so far in this virtual competition. Headington are going to be following them. They're going to be in the orange. In the magenta, Hills Road, they slowly filled up their spaceship, but lost last time to Hayden, who filled up much more quickly. We'll see how they do. And Collier's in the yellow, who we see immediately going off and grabbing 2 and knocking the egg off the nest initially, but not quite sure what they're doing. They drop 2 asteroids on the nest, and that's not worth any points. Let's see how this all goes as things get underway. We're about to see the first 2 asteroids going into the spaceships, and we do, both from Hills Road and from Collier's. Not seen any spaceshipage yet in the north from Queen Mary's, nor on the right from Headington's. These are all very, very experienced teams that we're seeing in this match. So this is going to be quite interesting to watch. But right now, it's looking like the advantage is very much with Collier's over there on the left as they get their 4th asteroid on their home planet. And I think the egg is in play, and that is going to be quite interesting to watch because it was nearly thrown into a home planet there. It could very, very easily get knocked. Now, it looks to me like Colliers are at a slightly jaunty angle there, and I'm not quite sure what Headington are doing either. It looks like they may have got themselves a bit jammed. And speaking of jammed, if you look down at the bottom there, entering the Hills Road home planet, or at least orbit above it, we do see the Hills Road robot in a tussle to the death with Queen Mary's. It seems that few of our robots have taken the time to detect each other and are doing a little bit of colliding, which is not good for anyone, because that is going to more or less ossify these scores as they exist right now, unless something dramatic happens. And right now, it's looking like the advantage is for Colliers, with their 4 asteroids on the home planet and 1 on the spaceship. We have 1 on the spaceship and only 1 on the home planet down there for Hills Road, and fewer points for everyone else. So unless something dramatic here goes wrong or goes right, depending on your point of view, this is one for Colliers.
Yes, it is. And we're seeing a lot of angry robots in this match. There's a lot of robot on robot collisions here. We've got Hills Road and QMC in the bottom, and then we've got Colliers and Headington on the right hand side.
Yeah, it's not great to look at. I remind you all, this is a non-contact sport in principle, and accidental bumps and escapes like this will happen, but it's a very good idea for a whole bunch of reasons to try and stay away from other robots, because if you don't, things get messy, things get slow, things don't score a whole lot of points, just like we saw here.
And in the physical competition, things get broken too. Theoretically, the virtual robots don't get broken, wheels fall off, arms snap. In the physical competition, they very much do. So avoiding things and not trying to use your flimsy arms as a battering ram is generally quite a good strategy.
Yes, also deliberately using them as a battering ram will get your points reduced to 0 by a very irritable judge. So in that way, it's also a yes, pick a direction. It's also a very bad idea for your points. Now, at the end of that match, we have Colliers, as expected, coming away with a win there with 89 points, 53 second for Hills Road there, 25 third place for Headington School at the end of that match, and only 1, alas, for QMC at the end of that match, number 10. Now let's have a look at match number 11 coming up.
Yes, match number 11. Now we have the final appearance for day, at the very least, from Bard and Peveril sitting in the orange. They've been doing incredibly well so far in today, and are actually sat at the top of our league at the moment, potentially because they've played the most matches. But still, they've also done an incredible performance with 299 game points. Sitting alongside them, we have the aggressive Ruthin School with their egging of Sherborne in a previous match. And unfortunately, potentially caught in the carnage between those 2 incredibly strong teams, we have an additional 2 pretty damn strong teams from the Ladies College Guernsey in the... Sorry, not the Ladies College Guernsey. Yes, it is the Ladies College Guernsey.
Yes,
TLC in the pink. There's too many TLAs. And in the yellow, we have Wisbeach Grammar School, WGS. Now,
I think the big thing to watch here is going to be whether Ruthin dropped the egg on Bun.
I think they're going to. Let's have a look. Oh, no. Can they line up to the egg? No, not quite. It looks like they've tried to go for it, but no. They got just knocked off path, and so they haven't been able to collect it. I don't know whether their strategy is going to be check the eggs there, if not, go back and find it, or whether they're just going to go, nope, screw it, let's go back to get our own points. But we have from there the Ladies College Guernsey there. Nicely, that's 2 asteroids into their spaceship that is still on them. No, it's not. Unfortunately, that is those points given to Barton Peveril there. That's very unfortunate. That's 80 game points that the Ladies College Guernsey have just accidentally given away. They avoided an egging from Ruth in school. Fantastic. But then unfortunately just nudged their spaceship over the line. They are on wheels at the end of the day. Not normal spaceships, but these ones are on wheels.
It's actually a very important feature of spaceships to have wheels.
Yeah, it does make landing a little bit easier.
Yeah, it's also how you steer them.
It is, yes. Now, on top of that, we have an incredible number of asteroids coming into Wisbeach Grammar School. It almost looks like they're cleaning up our arena now. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 120 game points from asteroids on planets alone, adding to 132 now. Oh, that's a lot of points. Now, unfortunately, none of them are in a spaceship, so they're not necessarily worth their full potential, but Wisbeach Grammar School do have everything and the kitchen sink at this point.
And with that number of points, that's going to take them the match. I mean, that's the 2 that are in the spaceship that we're looking at in the bottom right. That's only 80 game points. He says only.
Only 80 is still a lot of points. Oh, now
it's
there's
a lot,
an egg coming into
it's
play.
Not enough.
The egg now accidentally, Ruth in school finally getting what they planned. The egg is now sitting on the Ladies College Guernsey's home planet, giving them 1/4 their total points, which at the moment does appear to be 0. That asteroid in the bottom right hand corner it's hard to tell from here as to where exactly that sits. But a lot of tussling, a lot of potentially stealing going on from Wisbeach Grammar School's home planet. They've got 10 seconds and all their asteroids are still firmly on their planet. But in a few seconds, a lot could change. 2, 1, there we go. The flash of red means the match is over. An incredibly high-scoring match there from Wisbeach Grammar School. Not necessarily a number of points alone. 121, though, is still an incredible number, but just so many asteroids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 asteroids sitting on their home planet.
And that just goes to show, right? The spaceships, they're flashy, they're worth a lot of points, but they're dangerous. What we see from Wisbeach there is a simple strategy executed absolutely perfectly. They go, we're just going to collect the asteroids. We're going to hoover up the asteroid belt. We're going to bring them all home. And they get 121 points and 8 league points for their troubles because they just executed it really, really well.
And really, really reliably, getting that many so quickly again. All you need to do is collect points. If you can do that reliably, why bother going for the spaceships? It's a lot more complexity. It's worth a lot, and for you that might be worth it. But otherwise, just going for the ones on the I guess space doesn't really have a floor, but on the asteroid belt, onto your home planet surface.
Hey, I see a
pretty damn good
analogy.
strategy.
Hey.
Yes, space doesn't really. Space is more spherical.
It's an imperfect analogy. You just have to imagine the space.
Yeah.
We tried to construct the physical competition in outer space, but it's somewhat beyond our budget, unfortunately, as it turns out.
Yeah, if you are willing to sponsor Student Robotics to run a competition in outer space, please let us know by emailing
Student Robotics Space Program.
StudentRobotics.org.
Now, coming up in this match number 12, we have Haberdashers. They'll be appearing in green. Last time they managed to score over 280 game points. Let's see if they can replicate that performance now. HBS, they're going to be in the orange. We have RGS Guildford in magenta and SOG in the yellow, and off they're all going. RGS, they grab 2 initially, drop them into their home planet. Bit of a strange performance there from Haberdashers, but they know what they're doing, and yes, they get 2 into their spaceship. Sorry.
Yeah.
As spaceships move, it is well known that the frequency of my voice increases. Now, we do have the egg in play, although it is still sitting out there in the asteroid field. At the moment, having no effect. Let's see if that changes. Haberdasher's getting more and more confident, I suspect. With the spaceship wedged where it is, that looks like it's fairly reliable for them that it's going to be in their home planet. And they do have 3 asteroids in it now. Let's see if they can replicate that performance. The egg, it squeezes down there into RGS's home planet, and that is going to do a real number for the number of points they are getting off that spaceship. It doesn't matter how well you do. If the egg is with you, you're going to have a bad time, especially when you're up against haberdashers who are giving an absolute masterclass here in how to use the spaceship. Henry Box School, they're doing all right on the right there. They've managed to get 1 in their spaceship. Let's see if they can pull it off, get another. I suspect they have it in them to do it, but we will see where it goes. The egg is being moved around by St. Olave's. We'll see what they're doing, and we do see a spaceship steal there, although not entirely clear why. Royal Grammar School stealing their own spaceship and depositing it with the Henry Box School, which is going to do them very nicely, but not entirely clear what their strategy was there. And that means that the Henry Box School is getting quite a few points despite angrily knocking their own spaceship out of their zone. We've got a bit of a musical chairs situation, a pass the parcel situation. The spaceships are not hot potato. You want them, you don't want to get rid of them, but that appears not to be influencing the decision of these teams here, except for haberdashers, who are doing very well and seem to be trying desperately to make sure that egg stays away from their spaceship. But they'll have to keep it away for a little longer. It looks like they're in a convincing lead right now with those asteroids in their spaceship. That could all disappear in just a moment with the movement of the egg. And it really all comes down to whether that egg stays where it is. It looks like it's going to. We could see a few last-minute movements of spaceships, but it's not going to be enough to make the difference with these few seconds left. And that is it. A commanding performance there from haberdashers, despite the egg being in play and the associated risks. They successfully defend against an egg drop and take away a commanding lead in that match there with 241 game points against ABS's 105. Very impressive performance there, and they take the match.
Yeah, there was a lot of spaceship shuffling going on there. That is the unfortunate thing, is the spaceships, it doesn't matter where it started. The flag and the color on it could almost be seen as misleading, but it's not, honest. All that matters is where it finishes at the end of the match. That's what counts.
And let's have a quick look at where we were at the end of that match. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
Oh.
Ouch.
That was close.
Yeah.
That
you see,
was very close.
It's very close, but it's not close enough. It has to be touching the floor to get the points.
There's definitely some sort of CSI style zoom and enhance there coming from our scoring team. Now, me and Alistair we're reacting to these live.
We're watching this live. We are as chaotic as anyone else right now. And let's have a quick look at what is upcoming in this forthcoming match, match number 13. This will be the final appearance of Hamptons today. They will be appearing in magenta, and they are going to be facing off against the Great Steelers Colliers, who will be appearing in green, against the Ladies College, who are appearing in the orange, and against Westminster City, who will be appearing in yellow.
Yes, this could be another very interesting match. I've seen Colliers do very much like stealing tokens. Again, this could be a nice high-scoring match. There should be plenty of chances for them to steal lots of tokens. And first out the line, stealing them from the asteroid belt doesn't quite count as stealing, but still, 2 nicely in 7 seconds. That is 80 matches. Sorry, not 80 matches, 80 game points. Now, we have Westminster City College there nicely. They've got 1. Oh! That's interesting from Colliers. They've placed an asteroid on the arena wall. What?
I didn't know that was even possible.
I can't imagine it not being possible, but what on earth does that mean points-wise?
I mean, that's not on a home planet. That's not even anywhere. That's not a place.
No, that is not a place. It's an asteroid.
Um, yeah. Well, I'm not quite sure what we're going to do with that. That is wild, and I'm
That's
pretty
unfortunate.
sure that's not worth anything at all.
Yes, I've heard from the team who did
Strange,
score this. Zero
strange
points.
decision from Colliers there, and it looks like
Yeah,
they're kind of stuck there too.
something on their code has crashed. But in the meantime, we have Westminster City College nicely taking advantage of that. We've got 4 asteroids inside their spaceship there, 160 game points for them. We should nicely give them a win if things keep panning out like this. But that egg is still there. The terror of cosmic proportion is still very much a threat to every single team on here. And in the final just under a minute, let's see what exactly is going to happen. DLC slightly nudging it, but still firmly in the neutral asteroid belt. Now, Westminster City College, they're going to steal a babe out of Collier's, but trying to go for a steal, not quite able to line it up. Now, let's see. It looks like not a huge amount of movement from the rest of the teams. There we go. Hampton School being nudged back into life from Westminster City College as they go to steal. Oh no, they were going to steal an asteroid. They've given up now and decided to steal the Ladies College Guernsey instead. Interesting tactic.
Not quite sure what's going on there. I think they can all see the same asteroid, the one that's next to the egg, and they've not realized there's other robots in the way.
Yeah, that's all. Final seconds now. Let's see. Nope, not quite. There we go, the end of the match. Now, let's take another look at that egg. Not the egg, the asteroid sitting on the arena wall there. Oh, yes. Now, unfortunately, our scoring team have let us know, because it makes sense, that very much sitting on the arena wall there is worth exactly 0 points. It is off your home planet. It is functionally out of the arena. And in the physical competition, the walls are a lot thinner than that, so that will just fall out of the arena completely.
What
So unfortunately,
what a weird match.
yeah, I don't really know what to make of that. I mean, it
That
was a nice high-scoring one from Westminster City College.
Oh, yeah.
173 game points for them.
And
Fantastic.
fair play to him. But
yeah, well deserved.
But okay, well, things got weird. I'm sure they'll get weirder. This is the kind of strange stuff you come to expect from a virtual competition. I seem to remember a previous one. We were shown a video where a team had strapped a rocket to something, which we didn't think was possible. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. Yes. As it turns out, one of the friends of one of the competitors was a VFX artist. And so they decided to have a lot of fun and go, is this legal? And present that video without context, confusing every single blue shirt, going, what on earth is that?
The answer, incidentally, was no.
Funny that.
Now, let's have a quick look at what's coming up in the upcoming match, which is match number 14. We have Sherborne, who did very well last time, but suffered from being egged, and the disaster of cosmic proportions was unleashed upon them. Let's see if they can make it back without that disadvantage this time. Got a final appearance from Wisbeach as well, who've won every match they've appeared in so far. Very strong performance from them against QMC, who... Let's see if they can replicate the performance from last time. And KAA, who are in the orange and are the slowest off the line. Quickest off the line from WGS, Wisbeach. They get 2 immediately. They're going for another one. They're going to push... well, I think they're going for an asteroid. In fact, they just push KAA into their home planet, which I guess achieves the same thing. Although not if KAA can pull them both out. But, you know, it's the same result. It's worth the same number of points. They're going to have to unpick themselves, though, if they want to compete with the other robots in this match, because we've already got the scores going up quite highly. We've got 3 asteroids in the home planet, now 4 from Queen Mary's College, with Sherborne going after the same ones. Sherborne, they've got 4 in their home planet, now lining up for a 5th, but it's going to go down quite quickly with Queen Mary's going for a very, very greedy play there. Oh no, they decide they were past that kind of greed. They went, no, greed is in fact last year's SR game. This one, we're just going to drop them where they are. We're going to be kind like that. I'm not sure that kindness is going to pay off for them, although I say this, they are still winning at this point, it looks like. They've got a lot of asteroids on their home planet. But we have what? The egg is in play, and it gets dropped off by Sherborne, getting revenge for their own egging last time. That is not a good look for QMC. That is quartering their points. They're going to have to pull in a lot of asteroids to make up for that. And then unless they can figure out that the egg is in their home planet, and it looks like they've not clocked on, they're going to keep going, doing their thing, grabbing the asteroids, taking them away from Sherborne. We'll have to see whether that's enough. It doesn't really matter whether you get points for yourself or deprive them of other people. It will get you the same lead, but they're going to have to work quite hard. They move the egg around, but don't get it out of their home planet. They need to get rid of it if they want to score highly in this match. It barely looks like going to be enough for them despite the egg. Maybe that's their strategy. We're going to ignore it and just give ourselves such a commanding lead that we're going to overcome the quartering of the points from the egg. But that is a very, very dangerous strategy for them. It looks like they're going to pull it off, but that is some scary, scary stuff. Queen Mary's just going into the scrum down there. Looks last minute stuff from Sherborne. We'll see if they pull it off. But no, we end the match there with the egg sitting in QMC's home planet. Oh, but it's not enough.
No, it's enough to give them second. That's still 28 points for QMC. But Wisby's Grammar School there, because they are not inhibited by the egg, as it were, they were able to get 37 game points for them.
That's an awful lot of asteroids, but it's just not enough.
Sadly
when we say cosmic proportions, it's cosmic proportions. Yes,
where your cosmos is defined as a student robotics match. If your world is in fact student robotics, good for you.
Wait, I mean, how else would you define it?
I don't know. I mean, there are things other than student robotics. I mean, the last month or so of working on the virtual competition and physical competition, not so been true for my out of work life. But things other than student robotics do in fact exist.
Well. You heard it here first, folks. Now let's have a quick look at this upcoming match. Match number 15. We've got two final appearances coming up in this match. In match number 15, we have HBS. The last time they were given a spaceship. Let's see if they can replicate that kind of luck this time. They're going to be appearing in green. RTS, Ruthin, they're going to be appearing in the orange. Let's see what their egg plans are this time. MAI, Gymnasiummarkt in der Dorf, they're going to be appearing in what I will still insist is magenta. And they're going to be going up against the final appearance of HSO, Headington School, Oxford, former champions of student robotics, in fact. Well, not the only former champions in this match, I should note, but former champions nevertheless. And it's going to be their final appearance too. Let's see what they can pull off in this upcoming match against Henry Box, Ruthin, and MAI. And off they go.
Now, let's see. Ruthin School, they're nice. Oh, now Headington School have gone for the egg first, interestingly. I don't know whether this is intentional, but it looks like they might be trying to beat Ruthin School at their own game, maybe trying to give them an egging. That would be quite the karma. But unfortunately, it looks like they've got themselves a little bit confused. Oh no, here we go. There it is, Ruthin. Karma, unfortunately, does suck. You have been egged by Headington School.
Oh boy.
What a shame.
Oh, that is revenge.
For karma.
Best served cold.
Oh, that's unfortunate. However, moving back to normal matches, we have Henry Box School there nicely one asteroid into their spaceship. MAI, 2 in their spaceship and 1 onto their home planet. Ruthin School, I think, are clearly just a bit confused, spinning around in circles. Particularly interesting about this spin is that depending on where they land, gives them an extra 24 game points or not. So if they keep spinning for the rest of this match, where they land could be very interesting indeed.
Quick, do the phase calculation.
No. While Alistair does that calculation, Headington School, we have a lot of tussling there going on with the Henry Box School. Oh, not sure what's going on quite from there. Clearly some kind of asteroid stealing trying to go on from Headington. But unfortunately, they seem to have also grabbed a Henry Box School at the same time. MAI, normally we do see a lot of movement from them, but it looks like they've just gone for get 2 in the spaceship, 1 on the floor, and then stop. Whether that stop is intentional or is a code bug, I don't know.
There's some logic to it, depending on how predictable your position is over time, and it depends how precise their sensors are. It looks like that is going to do quite well for them in this match, actually.
It really could, yeah. That's what, 92 game points for them, which is still the most out of anyone else. And unfortunately there, Henry Box School's spaceship with asteroid has been stolen by Headington School and then given back.
And again!
Stolen again!
God. What are you doing?
What on earth? This is the final 10 seconds. Don't be doing things
And it goes
like
back
this.
over the line. What is going on?
I think that's back over. No, is it? I don't know where that is now. I think it's on this side.
I think
that's how the geometry works. What?
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 Well. It's all coming up Headington this match, it seems.
Everything comes up Headington eventually. What?
I mean, they don't manage to beat MAI, who go with a very solid performance and take 93 points. But really, I think, despite MAI's win there, the moral victory goes to Headington School, who walk away with 89 points, just less than MAI's. I liked the point where they went, "It's Ruth in time," and then Ruth all over those guys. It gave them what they deserved, and I loved it. And they got those points back to them at the end. Now, you might call that an accident. You might call it chaos. You might call it a pointless tussle over that spaceship. But you know what I call it? Karma.
Yes, and it served 8 points cold, which is what Ruthin scored in this match, putting them sadly at the bottom, 4th place in that match. Ouch.
Ruthin are playing the part of the bad guys in this competition so far, and I love it. And they are getting their comeuppance right now. We'll see whether they can pull off that same egg stealing trick and win the competition at the physical one. That's going to be very entertaining to watch in a few weeks.
Oh, so much.
Now let's
take a quick look at the league table. Let's see what the state of things are. We have right at the top there Wisbeach Grammar School, Haberdashers, and Barton Peveril nicely sitting in the 30s for their league points. Probably means they have in fact played all of their matches for today, and I believe they all have. But still some strong performances from those three, and in fact all of our teams as we move Alistair into match number 16.
Yes, and coming up in match number 16, we have Hills Road, Eltham, who will be making their final appearance. We have Sherborne, and who pulled off an excellent move for the egg last match. And we have another final appearance from Harris Westminster in the yellow. And they're all off to a quick start, but all doing slightly different things. We have a lineup from Eltham, not quite sure what they're doing. They go and grab their spaceship. They're going and moving it. I'm not quite sure what they're doing. I think they're moving it to the middle just to make themselves a bit more safe, because it's hard to knock into someone else's home planet. Sherborne, instead, going for a reliable option. They're going and collecting lots of those asteroids and bringing it back to the home planet. We've seen it before. It's a very, very solid strategy. Now, let's see what Harris Westminster are doing. They're lining up slightly chaotic there, but they do get the points. They're going to have to do quicker than that if they want to match Sherborne's speed, though. Sherborne doing very, very well, collecting all of those asteroids, bringing them back to the home zone. They are doing a mighty performance here, and in it goes. Now, there's bit of a potential tussle here going on. A three-way tussle. Yes, it does. Oh, just avoided there. As the robots starburst at that last minute, with Eltham going and taking an asteroid from the home planet of Harris Westminster. But Sherborne says, no, I think I will be having that. In fact, that belongs to me. But are they going to be defeated? Because Eltham, I don't know if you saw that there, Eltham lifted up their grabbers. Maybe that was in an attempt to turn Sherborne on their back. It is possible, but they're really fighting over that asteroid. And lo, it looks like Eltham win, or at least Sherborne gives up. Not quite sure where Sherborne is going to go from here. The egg is in play, but not making a huge difference yet. Sherborne's lead, though, is very much at risk, given the number of asteroids that Hills Road have taken into their spaceship very quietly in the meantime up in the north. Very gentle, casual performance, just not attracting much attention. Yeah, says Hills Road, we're just going to grab a couple of asteroids, bring them back to our spaceship. Don't need to go paying attention to us. Go and look at what Sherborne is doing down in the south in that mighty tussle with Eltham over the last couple of asteroids here.
I think it's dancing.
I think it's dancing as well. Harris Westminster, not quite sure what they're doing. They're pushed up against the wall, holding an asteroid. It's going to get them some points if they can pull it off, but probably not enough. And despite that commanding performance from Sherborne, that very, very quick captures there, it looks like this match is going to go to the mighty Hills Road up in the north with those, 6 more asteroids that they take away in their spaceship.
That is a high-scoring match from them. That's
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is some points.
Yeah, it is some points. I can also do multiplication and tell you that that is sub.
It's 201, apparently.
I think you'll find its product, actually. It's a math joke boy. We have, 201 points from Hills Road there. They come away with the lead very, very strongly there. Sherborne, with that commanding movement there, grabbing lots of asteroids and bringing back to their home planet. They walk away, alas, with only 109 after that in the magenta there. Only 9 points there from Harris Westminster and 1 from Eltham. Now, let's have a quick look at what is coming up in the next match. We're getting a lot of final appearances coming up, Mr. Jake. We have KAA and RGS both in their final appearances in the green and in the orange, respectively. We have Kegs. Last time they had a very strong performance, but were all suffered from a steal. Last time they had their points all stolen from the planet by WGS Wisbeach. So we'll see if Kegs can pull off a strong performance this time. And HAY Haydens, who, like others before, a couple of others before them, are coming into this match with something to prove, given that they have won every match so far that they've played in. Can they repeat that performance?
We've got a lot of strong winners in some of these matches. We've had Hayden School this time round. We've had it in a few previous ones before, where lots of
Haberdashers as well,
being consistently
Hayden's
matches.
really showing us how it's done here.
Yes, they are, and let's see if they can do it again in match number 17. Quick movement off the line there. RGS Guildford nicely grabbing 2 asteroids, almost lining up to the spaceship, but not quite. Similar moves now from Hayden School and Keg School. Hayden doing something that we've seen many times from them in the past. 3 asteroids moved at once, 1 onto the planet's surface, 2 into their spaceship very quickly, all in under 30 seconds. A very quick score and high scoring points from them. Now, they do seem to be going after King Edward's asteroids there. Unfortunately, we might get another input on the wall. No, not quite. That's 2 asteroids stolen from Keg School over into Hayden's scoring zone. Can they get them lined up into the spaceship? No, not quite. That's 1 that looks like it is still in their arena, but unfortunately not quite. For that second one, that does look like it's back onto the asteroid field, scoring points for no one. RGS now, taking a bing from Ruth in School, going straight for an egg in the spaceship. Will it land? Yes! There it is! Fantastic performance there from RGS Guildford.
Sorry, Haydens. You might have won every previous match, but we are not having that.
If they win this one, that will be very impressive and well-deserved. But I think with a point score of 0, that's going to be pretty hard to beat. They're going to get 1 point for having left their zone, and that's about it. Kensington Aldergrove, though, nicely there. That's 4 asteroids, or was 4, now 3 on their planet surface. That 4th one that's on the line might not quite be on. We'll have to look at the action replay. I think that is straddling the line enough, but we will see in the final 40-odd seconds where exactly this lands. Now, RGS Guildford there, they've very quietly been able to steal 2 spaceships there, both of which I believe have 3. Oh, dear,
stress noises
there. I can't tell where that flag is.
That's still an RGS. No, it goes over.
Not anymore. No, what's going on there? That's now Kensington's. That's 120 game points for them, just so quickly given. Oh my goodness. Lots of shuffling there. It doesn't matter how many times you poke it, you won't be able to bring it back to RGS. And to be honest, you probably shouldn't, because they stole your spaceship in the first place. Ow, ouchie, my bones. What on earth happened there?
So just to go over what I think just happened, right, did we see RGS take away a 100% record from Hayden's, only to have someone else, what was it, KAA? No, Kegs, take away their subsequent lead and give it to the fourth team in the match?
Yes.
Because I'm pretty sure that's what I just saw. And I do
think
not
it is
understand
too.
why.
I don't really know either. I believe we've got a bit of action replay to look at from this match.
Yeah,
Let's
please,
take a
can we?
quick look. It's from a different angle. A nice. Yes.
In it goes.
There's
and
the
we
egg
get the
deposited.
nullifying of the points there. That takes away Hayden's mighty lead.
And in
And the
one
spaceship.
foul swoop. Oh my goodness, RGS. That is
Unbelievable move from RGS there, only to have someone take it away and give it to a third party at the last moment.
that is spicy. Drop an egg, steal a spaceship with 120 game points in it. That is the most efficient 10 seconds I think I have ever seen in Student Robotics history.
Crazy. And so, like, despite that unbelievable performance from RGS there, Kegs come in at the last moment and give the win there with 169 points to KAA, pushing RGS only into second. Ooh, that was, I believe the word is spicy.
Spicy indeed. Now, match number 18. This is final appearances from all teams actually in this. We have Westminster City College in the green. They last time they came first with 4 asteroids. We've got Queen Mary's College. We have St. Erlad's, and we have RTS. Can they deploy their move? Let's see.
Off they all go. Now we have some points fairly quickly. We have QMC going and taking some points. They're taking onto their home planet. Looks like Westminster City once again lining up, and they get a point into their spaceship. Get an asteroid into their spaceship. They go for another one. They're lining it up pretty well. Westminster City School doing very well so far this competition. What we do see from Queen Mary's, though, is also quite interesting. They've managed to grab 4 asteroids at the same time, but they just drop them. Not quite sure what they're doing there. They seem to get slightly caught up on the nest there. Some very much contention for the nest. Ruthin, of course, going for their very famous at this point egg first strategy, but it looks like they've got some contention on the egg from St. Olave's, who are seeming to want to follow their lead. Scary, scary stuff. Now, it looks like there is a commanding position right now from Westminster City School, but Queen Mary's, they're very much wanting to contest that, and it looks like things are going very much into the danger zone now, and indeed it is pretty dangerous, because they have just taken that spaceship and given it to Ruthin, giving some points back to Ruthin. Not quite sure what they're wanting to do with that. Now, Westminster City School, they brought another asteroid home, but now they're just spinning on the spot confused. If I were a guessing man, and I am, and if I were a betting man, and for these purposes, legally speaking, I am not, they are probably right now looking for their spaceship. They want to find that spaceship so they can line up on it and drop it in. But because Queen Mary's College is caught up on their spaceship in the way, they can't find it, and that is leading to them just spinning there on the spot, unable to proceed. It's a very good idea to put in backups or fallbacks in your code so that robots don't get stuck in a continual state like this if something unexpected happens. Now, Queen Mary's College, presumably they've also got a similar situation, although there is some argument to be made that what they're doing is quite tactical, given what Westminster City... That was good, isn't it? I can't even speak anymore. This is way too much for me. Given what Westminster City School are actually doing. Now, the tussle there over the nest, that is looking like it's going to go nowhere. Both robots are just still alive with a little twitching, but not a whole lot of movement from St. Olave's Grammar School down there in the south and from Ruthin School up there in the north. But it may not matter from Ruthin, given the number of points that it looks from this vantage point like they have from that spaceship up in the northwest. And indeed, Ruthin take the game there with 81 points, despite their strategy not working out there. Good performance all round. 13 points apiece for QMC and Westminster, and SOG sadly walk away there with only 1.
Yeah, now I want to have a look at where that asteroid in Westminster City College's zone sit. Let's take a look at our nice zoom and enhance.
Again, just outside the limits.
Oh, that's Oh, that's unfortunate.
Very unfortunate, because that, I should point out, would actually have been decisive here. That would have pushed, just those couple of additional game points would have pushed Westminster City up to getting a solid second instead of being tied, and would have got them an additional league point.
I do love it when you get an asteroid that's just so close to that line, and it's just that
Yeah,
pain and tension you feel inside when you know it's so close, but unfortunately in this
close.
case,
So close, but no cigar, because it does have to be touching just slightly for it to count.
yes, it does. Now, match number 19 is coming up, the penultimate match of today's virtual, in fact, the virtual competition for this year. We have 4 teams ready and waiting. We have final appearances from them all. We have the Ladies College Guernsey, we have Hills Road Sixth Form College, we have Haberdashers, and we have Kegs Chelmsford. So far, Haberdashers have won every single match that they have appeared in so far. And Hills Road, they've been doing slow and steady of filling up the spaceship with asteroids, and they did come first in their last match. Let's see exactly what happens with this penultimate match and the final appearances from all of these teams. Now, Wick moving off the line there from Kegs Chelmsford, nicely picking up 2 asteroids. Similarly for Haberdashers, lining up to the short edge of the spaceship, which is an interesting strategy. It does mean it's less likely to be accidentally shunted over, unless they do it themselves, I guess. I don't know what on earth happened there. I can't imagine that was intentional. Now, King Edward's School, they've dropped 2 asteroids onto their planet surface. They're lining up for a third into the spaceship, and they get it. Fantastic. At the same time, Hills Road nicely 1 asteroid on their surface and 1 into their spaceship. And they make it a second in either of those. Let's see, it's over their planet, it's over their spaceship, and now it's in their spaceship. Fantastic performance from them. Nicely done. Now, Haberdashers, they do still have their spaceship. The flag is clearly still over them. Hills Road trying apparently to steal the asteroids and not giving them much luck about it. And unfortunately, that is 1 asteroid sitting on our arena wall worth no points. But fortunately, the other one did land on Haberdashers' planet, which does give them 12 points for that. Haberdashers not very happy, pushing Hills Road off of their planet back into space. At the moment, with our vantage point, not particularly dramatic. I could imagine that throwing a robot off a planet would otherwise be quite a dramatic event. Now, King Edward's 6th Grammar School, they've nicely got 3 asteroids into their spaceship. It looks like they might be lining up to go for a 4th. Oh no, unfortunately not. They opened their arms a little bit too early and got that. But all teams do have asteroids inside their spaceship, and the egg is still sitting dormant in the middle. Now could be the perfect point for a team to decide, now, you know what, let's get egg in and see what happens. I'm not sure what's happening there with Team KEG, doing a lot of wiggling and not a lot of moving. That's unfortunate. HRS now, they tried to get an asteroid from Haberdashers the first time. It looks like they've been able to steal it again. They've not quite been able to steal the entire spaceship, but it's still an asteroid that will end up, hopefully, at least in their robot, will it end up on their planet? There's 5 seconds left. They just need to do a little bit of a turn. Will they be able to? No, not quite, unfortunately.
Now, that
that's
did not go how I expected. I don't know about you, Mr. Jake, but
no.
See,
not
the thing to understand about Haberdashers is that they are really good at these virtual competitions. Like that is one characteristic we know about that team. Haberdashers do really well at virtual competitions, and I'm pretty sure, in fact, that move that knocks their spaceship into the corner, but at a 90-degree angle from its original thing, I think that's intentional. I think they're doing that to make. Yeah, look at it there. I think Haberdashers are reliably knocking that spaceship over there in a way to make it safe.
That is pretty safe. You're not going to be able to dislodge that very easily.
But this time, it did not work out, because the Joker here is Hills Road. Also, no slouches, it has to be said. But after that tussle between them, so sure, they defeated each other But with each other defeated, there are not only 2 robots in a game, there are 4. And what we see there, with the final little spaceship nudge over there in the north, is a commanding win by the Ladies' College, with Kegs coming second.
Yeah, the two teams clearly, Haberdashers and Hills Road, were a bit too focused on each other and forgot about what the other teams were doing. The
Yeah.
Ladies College and Kegs 173 to 145 points. Then you drop down Haberdashers 121, Hills Road just 21. Quite the
Yeah.
drop for them.
The clash of the Titans does not end the way we expected. Now, let's have a look at this last match coming up, which will be between Hayden's, Sherborne, Colliers, and MAI. And off they go for the final match of the day. We have MAI doing their normal strategy. They're going to go for 2 asteroids in the spaceship and 1 on the ground, we expect. Hayden's, they've got quite a few with them. Not quite sure what they're doing, but they're managing to get quite a few into their home planet. MAI doing their normal shenanigans. Colliers, they are managing to get just about, looks like they're about to get that asteroid into their spaceship, but I am not entirely convinced that that spaceship is still over their home planet. Sherborne, not quite sure what they're doing. They've gone and lined up, but they're not managing to grab an asteroid this time. Oh, actually, they are. They're going to go and grab one from Hayden's, go and do a little bit of a steal. They're pulling off their normal strategy, collect lots and lots of asteroids, execute it very, very well, and bring them back all onto the home planet without messing about with the spaceship, which is a very reliable strategy. But let's see if they can pull it off despite what the other robots here are doing. And Hayden's, they're not very happy about Sherborne. They are seeking some vengeance for that mighty execution from Sherborne, and they're going to go in and attempt to grab, but unfortunately, they do not pull it off. Colliers, meanwhile, they're caught up on the nest with the egg right next to it. It looks like they are a little stuck. MAI, not entirely sure what they're doing. They seem to have frozen. I think MAI terminate at some point their program, and unfortunately they may have done so a little early at this point. Sherborne, still a commanding performance from them, showing us exactly how it's done with that strategy of theirs, and I think they're also benefiting from a rather nice little spaceship steal there, with the Colliers spaceship sitting over their home planet, giving them an additional 40 points. Sherborne now are a little caught up. They're lining up on the egg. I'm not sure what their egg strategy is here. We've seen them do things with the egg before. They've got something, and what
on earth happened there?
Bit of an explosion. I think the egg hatched somewhat early there. Knocks 3 robots on their back. Blimey, I did not expect that. Instant replay.
What on
earth? It
The egg
detonates. Who knew that the egg could even do that? We have a little bit of a physics interaction going on here, and it kills 3 robots immediately. And back to the action with 3 robots on their back, destroyed in this last match. I said there were going to be unexpected twists and turns in this virtual competition, and my God, I did not expect that. 3 robots killed by the egg ahead of their time in this last match of the day as the clock drops to 0, and I do believe a lot of points there go to Sherborne in this final match of the day, giving them the win with 185 game points in that last match to Hayden's 121. What?
Oh my goodness. I mean, they do say you should end competitions like this with a bang, but not quite so literally as that. All 3 robots just go
What even happened there?
I think they just fainted from exhaustion.
Was that a physics thing? Did they all decide they were going to go and leap away from each other? What?
I can't tell what the catalyst. My assumption is
they
something
detonate.
Popped
The
and
egg,
slipped, and
the egg,
all of them just fly.
The egg, we do not know what it contains. What dreadful things lie within those square shell. But my God, whatever it is, it put the fear of God into those 3 robots. They fly away at that moment there. I do not know what we were just looking at there.
Oh my goodness. I just cannot work it out. What on earth happened? I mean, physics aside, just I've never seen a 3 robot tussle end in a bang.
That was explosive. I mean, I'm guessing what actually happened was some kind of physics glitch, which we have occasionally seen in the simulator. But what an explosive end to that last match of the day there. And I really did not see that coming.
Nor did I. Now, we are at the end of the matches, like we say. Let's take this moment to know that all the matches have been won. Teams are on equal playing fields. We've got everything. Let's have a look at the league table at the end of the virtual competition. We have right up at the top in first place, we have Haberdashers with 38 league points, 724 game points. A gigantic lead for them, particularly in game points, versus the team in second place, Wisbeach Grammar School. Again, they're only 1 league point behind, so there's still everything to play for. 200 game points below, though. That's quite the drop. Moving down, we have in third, Barton Peveril and Hills Road in fourth. Very, very close again, both in game and league points. There's still a lot to play for in those. And in fifth, we have MAI, Sherborne in sixth, and tied with them for league points anyway, we have in seventh, the Ladies College Guernsey. Position number 8 is where we find, interestingly, that definitely says 29 above 28, which is interesting. Let's work out. That's odd. We'll work that one out later. But we have Royal Grammar School Guildford with 29, and then in 28. Oh, they had a tie. Yes, there we go. Kensington Aldridge, sixth form, we have with 28. In 10th, we have Ruthin School, and we have Westminster City College down in 11. That's where we find Colliers, Hayden School in 13th with 25 game points and 436 league points. Hampton School, Hennington School, King Edward VI Grammar School in 16th. 17th, 18th, and 19th is taken by Harris Westminster, Queen Mary College, and St. Olave's. And rounding out the bottom of the pack for today, but still very much all to play for as we move into physical competition, we have the Henry Box School and Eltham College. All the teams below that have not scored any game points because they did not submit code for the virtual competition, but we hope to see their physical robots and performances as we move into the physical competition coming up in just a few weeks' time.
And some of those teams are not to be underestimated either.
Not at all. Now, from that, we've obviously seen 21 matches today, Alistair. Which teams particularly are, I say sort of spring to mind, but more, which ones are burned with fear in the back of your brain?
Well, I mean, Haberdashers do Haberdashers things, right?
Haberdashers Haberdash.
I expected they'd do pretty well, and I enjoy being proven right. Fantastic performance from them. Ruthin, I really love how much agents of chaos they are. I'm really looking forward to see if they can pull off that same egg first strategy in the physical competition. That's going to be an absolute blast. And
if they can do it, oh my goodness, that is going to be an incredibly powerful strategy.
Oh boy, yeah. But actually, I think the biggest thing I take away was just like how high scoring these matches were, how good they were. I don't know about you, but I was expecting the spaceships to be like something a couple of teams were able to pull off. But they were reliably where all the points were coming from.
Basically, every team at some point got a asteroid into a spaceship at some point, whether accidentally, intentionally, whether someone pushed it into theirs. They still did it. Yeah, when we designed this game, we expected that to be very much a stretch goal, as it were, something for the upper teams to aim for once they got asteroids on their planet reliably. We weren't expecting quite this many. And to be honest, it's clearly paying off for them. We've got right at the top, in 4 appearances, we've got 724 game points for Haberdashers.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Ridiculous. Now, and also, even further than that, you know what we definitely didn't expect? We didn't even have a case for this in the first handling of the rules because we just thought it was so unlikely that it wouldn't even come up. It's the case of the egg ending in a spaceship. And it
I know.
What, twice today?
At least, yeah. It was just a phenomenally powerful strategy. And sure, Ruthin's technique is clearly to quarter the points. But we definitely saw, particularly RGS just a few matches ago, in 10 seconds going, nope, this team's getting an egg and I'm stealing their neighbor's spaceship as well.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. If they are that sneaky in the physical competition as well, these are going to make for some incredible matches to watch.
Now, of course, all of this is in many ways much more difficult in the physical competition because the simulator, issues with robots flying away notwithstanding, the simulator does take away a lot of the really, really tricky bits of building a robot. All the electronics and all the mechanical stuff is done for you. But it is also just one design, one fairly simple design, and we've seen a lot of very interesting designs made by a lot of teams in the past. So don't just take that as the physical competition won't be as high scoring, because actually, we really don't know. And given what teams have brought to the table so far in this virtual competition, I am fascinated to see what they're going to bring to the physical one.
I just cannot wait.
Will be happening, to remind viewers, on the 13th and 14th of April at the University of Southampton. And assuming that my heart rate manages to lower at some point between now and then, I will hopefully see you there. Now, we're going to give you all the logs and recordings of your matches for those teams who took part today. They will be available to you on Discord over the next little while. And what is coming up next, Miss Jake?
Yes, so next we have the physical competition coming up on the 13th and 14th of April, like you say. And I think that is going to be an incredible performance from every single team, both the ones that we've seen today and the ones that we haven't. And so I think with that, I don't think there's anything more we can say. We've seen some incredible things. And quite honestly, I need a chance to let that all cement, get ready for the physical competition so we can see the incredible performances and the impressive physical robots that teams have been able to build over the last 6 months. And so with that, I'm going to say, yep, go for it.
And while my heart rate slows down, I just want to drop in a last couple of thank yous before we go. So a huge thank you to our trustees at Student Robotics. I want to give a huge thank you to the volunteers, particularly the crew who've made the broadcast today happen, to the people who worked yesterday to get all this running, to do all the operations stuff, to our producer. And I want to give a huge thank you to all the team supervisors who've been keeping an eye on everything, keeping the wheels greased. I think your work goes very underappreciated, supervisors, and I just want to say a huge thank you from all of us at Student Robotics. I want to give a huge thank you to our sponsors today, who without whom none of this could have happened. Particularly, I want to give a shout out to IT Dev, and I want to give a shout out to UK ESF, the UK Electronic Skills Foundation, and a shout out again to the University of Southampton. And I want to give a shout out to all the competitors who've been putting in a huge amount of effort on their code, which we've seen today. You've done amazingly well. Thank you all. We could not have done this without you. It's tried to say it, but we couldn't have done it without you. And good luck to everyone for the physical competition coming up. And with that, I think for me, I'm going to go and lie down for a bit, and goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me as well. Thank you very much for watching, and we wish you all the very best of luck.
And see you next time.